Hey everybody, it's John Sordo III, and for generations, me and my family have run Big Sword Emporium. We got all the biggest swords for you. Soul Calibur swords, Final Fantasy swords, Devil May Cry swords, half off. The bigger the sword, the better. We only have big swords. No regular sized swords are here, and no daggers, and especially no switchblades, okay? Horrible swords? Can you believe it? For every sword you buy, I'll throw in a Vendetta sword for free. And some people watch this commercial and say, isn't your sword kind of small? Look up, bucko. That's what I thought. So call this number and get yourself a big sword today. Vendetta is the new hero coming to Overwatch Season 20, and she is the first melee DPS hero, which when you say it out loud seems kind of crazy. Like, I guess technically Doomfist had a handgun thing, and he's now a tank anyways, so he doesn't even count. So yeah, I guess she is the first one. Huh, neat. And as a Marvel Rivals fan, I've been spoiled with so many different melee DPS characters, so finally seeing one in Overwatch got me a bit excited. And boy, how the turns table. Overwatch is now the one copying Marvel Rivals homework. It's beautiful. Anyways, so before I teach you how to play Vendetta, let's talk about her backstory first, because this one is juicy. Vendetta's real name is Marzia Bartolotti, and she is the daughter of Antonio Bartolotti, who you might recognize from that one Blackwatch mission where we fucking killed him. So awkward. So while he was a good father to her and taught her how to run a criminal enterprise like he did, he wasn't really a good guy. But regardless, Vendetta was a bit upset that her father was killed and ultimately blamed Talon, especially Doomfist, for kinda setting up her father to die. Also, on top of that, when her father died, she was denied her inheritance. Talon seized her father's assets, leaving her with nothing. So she had nowhere to go but the pits of the Colosseo. In the Colosseo, she called herself Vendetta and used her skills with a sword to gain infamy in the arena, acting as kind of a heel, which in wrestling terms means you're the bad guy in the show. She became a celebrity, nicknamed La Lupa, and this fame brought her money and power all on her own. She climbed the ranks of the Colosseo, giving her higher social status, and also granting her a whole network of people and assets who would work with her, and even join her cause to take down Talon. So after Doomfist was arrested, she used this as an opportunity to try and attack Talon, but ultimately failed. But then Doomfist broke out of jail and is now back in charge of Talon. So now all she wants to do is fight her true enemy, and there isn't a better time to strike. So that's her backstory in a nutshell. She's the toughest fighter with a huge sword, which I'm a fan of. I love characters with stupidly big swords. Nightmare from Soul Calibur, Cloud from Final Fantasy. The bigger and stupider the sword, the better. So now that you know a little bit about Vendetta, let's learn how to play her. Shall we? Vendetta's weapon is her humongous blade, which is called the Palatine Fang. Your first two swings deal 50 damage each. Then the third attack is always an overhead strike, which is always a critical hit dealing 130 damage, which also means if you get a kill with it, it counts as a headshot, which is kind of funny. The initial two swings have a range of 4.3 meters, while the third one is 6.8 meters. So for a melee character, it's not the worst in the range department. Also, you can slash multiple enemies at the same time, and it goes through shields, meaning that enemies who think they're safe behind their tank, well, they better think again. Oh, this is just insane amounts of DPS, especially the final slash. So you will land a ton of kills on a ton of enemies. Squishy enemies just disappear off the face of the earth. It's a straight up delete button. I mean, just look at how fast you can kill a tracer. You're out here playing Fruit Ninja, and your enemies are the fruit. Is Fruit Ninja still relevant? Like, is that too millennial of me to bring up? And every time you land a hit with your blade or any of her abilities, it will activate her passive ability, Onslaught. After each successful attack, you'll gain a stack of Onslaught, initially capped at 5. Every stack will increase how fast she moves and how fast she can swing her blade. If you don't hit anyone again, this will last for 5.5 seconds, so you have a lot of time before it runs out. You're basically incentivized to go in swangin' and to not stop until the entire team is dead or you die. Now, if you don't want to just go in and die every time, you do have defensive options, with her first ability, Warding Stance. This blocks 75% of incoming frontal damage until this bar right here depletes. So this will help you actually survive a ton of damage and give you a chance to get out and even get healed. You can block some huge ultimates from time to time, so it's a serious defensive tool. But when you're not blocking a ton of damage, it has a bonus effect called Projectile Edge. This allows you to fire a projectile that deals 80 damage and costs 30% 100% of your blocking meter to use. It's sort of like a mini Reinhardt Fire Strike with similar properties like going through shields and hitting multiple enemies at the same time. It's your only real ranged option, so when enemies think they're safe from your blade, hit them with this. It's also a great way to quickly deal more damage and guarantee a kill on enemies.
Oh my god.
Now Vendetta needs to close the gap between herself and enemies, and thankfully she has not one, but two whole movement abilities, with the first one being Whirlwind Dash. You dash 11.4 meters, and you also spin, dealing damage to anyone hit by this spin attack. This dash makes you insanely good at chasing down weakened enemies, since that little bit of extra damage can be what gets the kill. It's pretty straightforward. A little spin to win that can help you get in or get out, depending on your need. It can only move horizontally, not vertically, so you won't be using it to get to the high ground, but that's where your other more versatile movement ability comes in. Soaring Slice. You throw your sword in any direction going up to 16 meters, and then you'll fly towards the sword. And then after that, your next attack will always be an overhead strike. Now this movement is insane. It's good in every possible scenario. Going in for a kill, escaping with your life, reaching the high ground, flanking, diving, and it even does a little bit of damage. I threw the sword and I got a kill with it.
Hey, really?
I didn't know it does damage. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You're throwing a sword.
It does a little, yeah, it's just a little bit of damage.
It did like 5 damage and it killed them. When combined with all the movement you have and your other abilities, you start to feel like how it felt to play Doomfist back when he was a DPS. Remember that? The good old days. Her ultimate is Sundering Blade. You take your blade up and charge it up to 3 times. And then when you let go, you deal a ton of damage at a huge range. Stage 1 does 100 damage up to 8 meters, Stage 2 does 200 damage up to 16 meters, and Stage 3 does 400 damage up to 24 meters. And it's that last one that's kind of incredible. It can instantly kill most of the Overwatch roster, and with its range, enemies can't really run away from it either. You can go into the air and then use the ultimate and you'll just stay in the air, and it will hit everyone below you and in the air. Even not at full charge, it's still a strong ultimate able to deal effective damage. And while it can't instant kill tanks, it still does a ton to them. They're gonna die. This ultimate feels like a classic Overwatch ultimate, with insane kill potential that's over the top and epic. And I love it. When you land it on multiple enemies at the same time, it's just so satisfying. Okay, that's why you do it. That's why you do it. It wasn't even fully charged. It wasn't even fully charged. And when you wombo combo every ability together and get back to back to back kills, you'll get play of the game every time. Oh, no. It doesn't even make sense. I dipped them so hard. There's no way this is play of the game.
They start walking forward.
He just walks forward and spun.
Three kills. 4.
I know a thing or two about big swords, so listen to these pro tips. Number 1, let's talk about which Vendetta perks to choose and why. For her minor perks, both are honestly good. Siphoning Strike grants her lifesteal, which I think should be chosen if you're playing solo and your supports aren't healing you effectively, as this will keep you alive longer while attacking the backlines. But if you're in a stack with a solid support, I would go with Relentless, as the bonus stacks of Onslaught add up fast and make you a killing machine. Now for the major perks, this one's a bit of a no-brainer. You should choose Raging Storm, which gives you a longer spin attack, which increases your damage output because you're a little Beyblade. The other perk, Swift Vengeance, just isn't that great because it requires you to die. So if you're having a great kill streak, it just won't be active. And it only affects one enemy. And if it happens to be an enemy that you don't want to fight or fully counters you, it's just not going to help you. The boost itself theoretically could be great, but why go with something theoretically good when you can have a straight upgrade to one of your abilities permanently? Blizzard, you're gonna need to rework this one for sure. Number 2, she pairs very well with other dive heroes like Winston and your fellow swordsman Genji. The supports in the backline will always be dead when you're diving them together. Sorry, support mains. But she's also great in more brawly compositions, since she plays like a mini Reinhardt. So of course she pairs well with Zarya. I miss playing Zarya and Reinhardt together, especially on King's Row, but you can essentially have that feeling again. Being bubbled while you swing into the whole team is so great. And on top of that, Zarya and her ultimate can wombo combo, leading to insane kills. Come on, Nova.
Oh my god! Holy shit! He's crazy.
Oh my god.
Side note, why can Kiriko Suzu block this? Like, you can't cleanse a sword. It's a sword. Make it make sense, Blizzard. Number 3. If you jump right before you attack with the overhead strike, you can gain additional movement, which effectively increases your range for your attacks. So make sure to jump before using that attack, and you will feel the difference. Also, the overhead strike has a knockdown effect that can take enemies down from the sky. So this can be great to stop flying enemies from escaping. And when you pair this with your jump strike that I just taught you how to do, you'll hit enemies out of the air a lot more often. Number 4. She has some of the best horizontal movement of any character in the game, making her incredible for contesting an objective on specific maps where you can get to the point from spawn incredibly fast. So if you need to stall, switch to Vendetta and you can do it. And the best part is, her cooldowns are so short that unlike other fast heroes, she'll actually be able to use her abilities after getting to the point. So that makes her even better at stalling. My god, she's fast. Overall, Vendetta, like many of the more recent Overwatch heroes, is a great and unique addition to the game from a gameplay perspective. Now, aesthetically, I think her design is kinda meh. It follows the same Overwatch woman face, where you could replace it with any of the other women. It's not that unique, and it doesn't even give her a ton of muscles or armor that would actually make sense given how big her sword is and the fact that she's a freaking gladiator. Give her the helmet she has in her backstory trailer. Also, you could have just modeled her after Lean Beef Patty, and it would have worked. It just makes no sense that she's not super muscular. But I get it, they gotta make her hot to sell skins. That's the way we design characters now, okay? Anyways, how is she for noobs? For noobs, I would say she's medium difficulty to play. Her kit is a lot more intuitive than most characters, while not requiring precision aim skills to get value out of it. I think a lot of noobs will find her really fun to play, while still having a very high skill ceiling for sweaty pros who want to become the #1 Vendetta player in the world. We love high skill ceilings out here. But what do you think? Have you played Vendetta? And if so, do you think she's easy to play or hard to play? Do you think she's underpowered and needs buffs or overpowered and needs nerfs? Let me know in the comments down below. And let me know if you want more Overwatch content in general. There's still a ton of characters that I have not covered, so let me know which character you want me to cover next in the comments down below. But with that, I gotta go call a meeting of the big swords clubs, so I'll catch you later. Ya noob.